Right, let's try again, shall we? Without dying this time. Hi guys, new camera approach. I'm going to see how this works out. If it doesn't work out, I'll do a different one. Okay, because of the weather's like this today, I'm going to talk about something that really pisses me off, because this reminds me of something that I had to endure a couple of days ago. I was out on the bike and traffic is terrible today. I was out on the bike, just meeting up with a guy, and it started to rain just like it is now, and we just thought we won't be out long then, we'll just have a couple of minutes. So that's what we did, went out in the rain, and he says, oh, I've got some guys on some 50cc's who want to meet up with us. So I was like, okay, fair enough, it's going to be a bit shit, you know, following 50s around, but we'll do it anyway, you never know, do you? So we went to meet these guys, and the first thing that happened when we met these guys is they was only wearing a helmet, they was only wearing gloves, and two of them was wearing jackets. The other guy just had a full tracksuit on. The two other guys just had trainers and tracky trousers on. Okay, bearing in mind it's really throwing it down now, it's like torrential rain, and these guys are absolutely soaked through, and I was in complete waterproof gear, and this guy, there was two guys on supermotors, one on Aprilia, and I think the other one was a Suzuki DRZ. I don't know, I could be really wrong, but I know definitely one of them was an Aprilia. And the guy on the scooter, who just wasn't really interested in him, he wasn't. And they pulled up, and I was the only guy on the 600. So they kind of looked at me as if to say, who the fuck do you think you are? And I was looking at them like, are you fucking crazy not wearing any gear in this weather? So I even asked him, I was like, do you even own any protection on your legs? And he's like, nah man, we got trackies yet, we've got trackies, we wear them yet. I'm like, right, okay. He's like, is that a 600? I'm like, yeah, this is a 600. He's like, oh, wicked. Right, do you want me to show you how to race then? I'm like, nah, you know, like, even if you was to show me how to race, it'll probably be wrong. So, whatever. So he says, right, where do you want to go, because I don't really fancy it. And it says one of them wanted to go to this road, which is quite good for biking. He wanted to race up and down that. But he didn't realise that if you go beyond this road, there's actually even better roads. And they didn't know this, because their bikes won't even reach the speeds to go on any of them roads in the first place. So we started heading that way, and then all of a sudden they just decided to jump off into a junction. No indication, not one of these lads, three lads, and not one of them indicated, and it really tipped me off, because they're just suddenly riding along speed limit, well, there was all above the speed limit, revving the shit out of them, and then literally just swerving off the road, bearing in mind it's wet as well, and I don't mind riding in the wet, I've got nothing against it, because I've got to do it anyway, because I only use this bike for transport. But there was no indication, no rules of the road, they just they just didn't seem to give a fuck that they could either fall off and seriously hurt themselves, and then I'll just sit back and laugh at them. But all they did was come down quite a reasonable road and then think, oh, my mate lives down here, yeah, and straight through, just completely swerve the bike into the junction. And that's what it was for about half an hour of just pulling into random streets, pulling up at a random house. So there's 5 of us just pulling up at this random house, this guy coming out, they was all having a nice little natter, and then they buzzed off to someone else's house. To them, that's what they class as a ride out. Now, if you're 1 of 50 and you want to ask a guy on a big bike to come out with you, don't go riding around fucking streets saying, oh yeah, this is what we do, this is a ride out. It's not a fucking ride out, is it? A ride out, country roads, sweeping bends, just a good open road where there's hardly any cars about, and really dry sunny day. That's a ride out. Not going out in the fucking wet, not wearing any gear, freezing cold, dripping wet, and just going to random people's houses and asking what they have for the tea. No, fuck. It doesn't work like that at all. So, yeah, that's what we ended up doing. I got pretty peed off, and the guy I was with, he got pretty peed off. So in the end, we just thought, fuck you. And they turned left at a junction. Well, we got to a junction which took us to that road that they originally planned to go on. And then once they got to the junction, they decided, nah, we want to go left instead of straight over. So they swerved to the left and disappeared. And we looked at each other and thought, no chance. So we went straight over and we went out for a ride. And by this point, it was starting to dry up. So it weren't too bad, it's quite a good day. But on a serious note, if you're a chav, which these guys were, and you're under 50, like, just because you got a CVT doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want on the road once you've got a bike, because it's just not. You're seriously going to hurt yourself if you're not driving how you're supposed to be, how you're taught, and you're seriously going to hurt yourself if you don't even indicate, don't even do any blind spots, your lifesavers. You seriously just got to consider your own safety, right? Now, I'm not one of these guys who are like, oh yeah, if you're squidding, yeah, oh, you're like such a downside to society for bikers. No, I'm not one of them, right? As much as I do hate squids, at the end of the day, it is their choice, and it's not a legal requirement to wear gear. It's just a legal requirement to have a helmet. I'm not sure about gloves either, but I definitely know, you know, just like everyone else, if you're not wearing a helmet, you're definitely going to get pulled over. So, take your own life into your own hands, but don't ride like a dick. Simple as. So, that's my little rant. I don't think anything made any sense, but yeah, there's just some things you got to get off. So, this is Squeaky Brakes, and I'll catch you guys hopefully on a sunny day next time. Peace!